This is Ken Masick from Ken Masick Reptiles, listening to Herp Herp Hooray.
It says here we should work in teams. I tend to think of myself as a one-man wolf pack.
You are about to enter information overload, a worldwide transmission with Herp Herp Hooray's featured Breeder of the Week. Here's your host, Jason Rossi.
What up, world? Welcome back to H3. I'm your host, Jason Rossi. We are streaming live on RossiReptiles.com and always on iTunes. I want to start off and thank my good friend Dan Goff for hooking me up with that brutal intro and outro from Scourge of Human Filth. Thanks, Dan. Appreciate that. All right, on with the show. This week's featured breeder of the week is here and has some extreme things going on. Ken Masick from Ken Masick Reptiles is this week's special guest. Ken, welcome to Herp Herp Hooray.
Hey, how you doing, man?
All right, thanks for coming out and doing the show, man. We really appreciate it. All right, well, I see that you're a tattoo artist, man. That's pretty awesome. I am actually a tattoo artist, but I'm thinking that you're the first one I've had on the show, man, so welcome aboard.
Oh, thanks. How long have you been doing it for?
I've been doing it for 6 years. How about yourself?
25, yeah, a long time.
25?
5 years. 5 years. Seen a lot in the industry change.
Wow, man. So what's your favorite style to get down on?
Do a lot of like freehand, black and gray, portraits, custom stuff, like a lot of demon type stuff. I do everything freehand, so I like doing going with it, you know.
Awesome, man. That's sweet. So what type of machines you running? You running those new Neo tats, or are you running the old coils?
I went to that stuff, and now I'm back to the old coils again. I keep finding myself going back to the old school stuff. I just like it better. It's got a cool feel to it, you know.
Yeah, I kind of like the sound, too, myself.
Yeah, it's just got a different feel. You know, the other stuff just doesn't give like the other stuff has more of a bounce to the shaders, and the other stuff just hammers through, you know.
Yeah, there is no give on that. So what other mediums do you work with?
Oh, I'll do anything. I can pretty much do anything, color, black and white, portraits, fantasy, whatever, anything.
Do you work with any other mediums like painting or, airbrushing or anything like that?
Yeah, a little bit of that stuff too, and tagging and, whatever needs some drawing on, I could do it, you know.
Awesome, man. Well, all right. Well, let's get into the snake talk.
Heck yeah.
All right, so how was your 2012 season, man? How was that Enchi Ghost Mimosa clutch?
That wasn't too bad. I was a little disappointed in that clutch. No, the Enchi Ghost Mimosa clutch I'm starting to do this year. I thought you were talking about the Fire Ghost Mimosa I made. Yeah, the Enchi Ghost Mimosa I'm going to do this year I'm pretty excited about, though.
Oh, awesome. So you hit the Super Banana, is that correct? You and Brad Boa?
Me and Brad Boa. Yep, it was a good time. So we're pounding that thing full of food right now.
So how long was that project in the making for?
Last year I was breeding it. I had a female I got from Little Slough, a female banana that's 100% albino. I got it up to size, and I was going to make the first ever cinnamon albino bananas. And then at the last minute I said, forget it. Shipped it out to Brad, and we wanted to make a super, and we hit, so it was really cool.
So what else did you hit this year that was out of this world?
Oh, a lot of weird stuff. I think I made the first pastel calico ghost. I really think that thing's cool.
For sure.
I made some cinnamon discos. I don't think no one's made that except for Ray Wilkie besides me and him. Those are really cool, too.
They got a funky pattern to them, don't they?
Oh, they're hot, dude. They're really hot. I got right now, coming out of the egg, I believe, because they're almost out of the egg, I think 2 killer bee clowns and 2 bumblebee clowns and a pastel clown. And it was a bumblebee head clown dad bred to Pastel Clown female. So it's a pretty good hit.
Wow, man, I was going to bring up the Bumblebee and Spider clowns, but what's the killer clown look like?
It's wild. Just looking at it in the egg, it basically almost looks patternless. It almost looks like you see the faintest of little pinstripe line. I mean, it's so small, it's almost hard to see, you know, and it's pretty wild. It's definitely cool. I can't wait till it gets out. Got like 5 days left.
Awesome, man. Well, we want to see that. So what are you going to throw into that project?
Oh, well, right now I got, I'm raising up, I made this year actually a Super Pastel Butter Extreme Head Clown. And I can't wait to use that. And I made a Lemon Blast Extreme Head Clown, also nail, which I'm going to run to some pastel clowns next year and some other stuff, you know.
Awesome. So why don't you explain that extreme gene? Like, what are some of the things to look for? I watched your video. You're talking about the melting pattern along the tail. What else can they be looking for?
Well, originally when I discovered this morph out, I noticed there was like a dripping type pattern towards the back part of the tail, and they all had the same markers. And I originally called it the paint drip, but I was too close to paintball, you know, the paintball, and I didn't want people to get confused, so I changed it to extreme gene. But basically, this gene is a lot like the deserts, where it cleans up the pattern, spreads it out, makes it a lot more vibrant, and it also tries to stripe out every animal. And in the super form, I found out it does put like a thick stripe on the top, and it looks like, and it even cleans up even more. So they end up looking like something that a desert and a genetic stripe would do to an animal. It's really cool in a cool down form.
It's funny you say that, because when I look at that super extreme butter, that's what I think. I was like, wow, that looks a lot like it has a desert influence to it.
Yeah, for sure. All the stuff it touches, it just cleans up like crazy. I really like how it's looking, you know.
So what are you looking to put that into, besides what you haven't already?
Oh, I got a lot of stuff into it already. Right now I'm trying to do a spider, yellow belly, orange dream extreme. That's one of the goals this year.
Oh, man, that'd be sweet.
I got a couple things that I want to prove out. I'm doing where I made a Bumblebee extreme, and I want to breed it to some normals to see how it separates, you know, to make sure they're extremes. I got a couple things I made this one butter to a Mojave Lucy, and it made some babies that were really wild. And I never showed anybody this snake, but it's a Mojave, but it doesn't, I think it's a Mojave. It's not definitely a butter, but it looks really weird. It's got gold coming up the sides. It's just a whacked out animal. I can't figure out what it is, but I believe it's a Mojave extreme. And we're going to breed that to a normal to also see what else comes out of that, just to prove out, you know, that that's the Mojave. Anytime you start off a new project, sometimes things come out that are so weird that you have to actually, like, bring them back into normals to kind of figure out and break down what you made, you know?
Man, I'm telling you, I'm waiting for those days. I am putting in the work, so hopefully I do get to experience that.
Oh, it's a lot of work, though.
Yeah, it is, man. The Contender Ball python, the Pastel Woma Mojave Desert, man, that's a pretty dope animal right there.
Yeah, it's disappointing, though, you know, what happened with that desert thing.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. What was your experience with that?
I gave up on it, project, I'm going to be honest with you, especially with the extreme stuff now. I feel like I got a new chance to have like the desert-type qualities without the, you know, and I can make a super and all this stuff. So I kind of left all the desert stuff behind and sold most of it off just to, you know, get a new start. I really love the desert gene. I actually think that was one of the most amazing morphs that came out at the time. How clean it made things. It excited the heck out of me. I'm not going to lie to you. And then when that happened, it really disappointed me. So, I don't know, this extreme stuff kind of brings a new life to it for me, which is kind of cool, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely neat how that worked out for you.
Yeah. But, I mean, as far as the Contender Ball, I'm pretty much making it a pet now. It stinks, you know?
Right. Yeah. But it's a good-looking pet, right?
It's a cool-looking pet.
Well, I'm digging that Disco Cream, man. It's an outstanding. Do they all get that pied look to them, or does it vary?
Every one that I've made so far has, and they're really, really, really cool. I just like it. You know, I'm not trying to be prejudiced or whatever. I love it a lot more than a vanilla. They kind of work very similar in some ways, but it's kind of like how I look at the vanilla is like the Mojave, and the disco would be like the butter. You know what I'm saying? How it makes animals look that much better when you mix it with stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, I just work. I don't have any vanilla stuff. I just do all the disco stuff because I just like how much better it looks. You know. I also think there's something there in the disco more than we know yet. I think it's going to do a lot more crazier things in the future and make some really tweaked out animals. I'm just really excited about that project. I was the first one to buy the first super in the world. I just seen something in the animal and ran with it, and I still believe in that project huge. There's so many cool things about that animal. I think that we're going to mix some stuff together later and be blown away by it. I think that animal's got more potential than people think, you know?
Oh, yeah, when you just look at that thing, man, that tricked out pattern is just so crazy going down its back. It's definitely an awesome animal.
Yeah, I love it. And think about the things you could do with this. Say you breed a banana, or you have a banana fire, okay? And you breed it to a disco, you can make actually a banana-looking piebald. You know what I mean?
Doesn't get any better than that.
Right, it'd be really cool. I think what you could do is make a lot of snakes look like pies, which everybody likes how pies look, without doing the recessive thing in the future. It's more faster gratification. That's what it seems like everybody's into in the ball python market. Fast, fast, fast. Everything's fast-paced, you know what I mean?
They want it yesterday.
Yeah, they want to make everything so fast. And that's what's killing the market a little bit. Everybody's rushing a little too quick. But to be honest with you, I think people later on, when they figure this out, will actually incorporate the disco and the fire into their combos to make things look like a pied. That's what I'm thinking in the future people are going to do, you know?
So what else looks pretty neat with that disco, Gene?
I just produced 1.2 disco yellow bellies.
Oh, yeah.
And, oh, my God, they're so cool. Really, 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 really cool. Their bellies are nuts. The red flames up the side. I mean, I'm just really, really excited I made those, you know?
Hell yeah.
And everything I touched with that disco stuff, I haven't been disappointed yet. The only one that kind of didn't do much for me so far is I made a spider disco, and it still looks cool, but it's just not as wild as the disco stuff, you know, with other combos. But I don't know. I've noticed that with spider, you can mix it to a lot of different genes, and sometimes it doesn't do a lot. You know what I mean? Like, it just seemed like the spider genes cancels out a lot of the wild stuff in a couple weird morphs. You ever notice that?
Yeah, like the yellow belly. It turns up the yellow, but it's not extreme.
Even like a stinger bee with an enchi, when you put an enchi to anything, it gets drastically different. You put it to a spider and you get the stinger, it doesn't look that different. You know what I'm saying?
When you see that little antler on the head, that's kind of the only way I could kind of tell, really.
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes the spider does that to certain snakes where it doesn't go nuts. But as far as the disco stuff, I'm gonna stick with it pretty hardcore. I keep picking up females, saving females. I'm planning on doing a lot of stuff with it, you know.
Now, are they a lot easier to tell from normals than, say, the vanillas?
Oh, yeah, super easy for me because I've been around them for a while now. But, I mean, the sides towards the bottom, their sides, they got, like, a real weird granity look. And on their bellies, they got a certain type of, like, black-type lining marker. Not quite like a pied, but kind of, where it follows down like railroad tracks type thing. And their head markers, it's just in the coloration and fades. I mean, it's really easy for me to see. I can see like from across the room, you know.
But to the untrained eye, they probably let it go.
Maybe. I don't know much because my eyes so trained. I see them so easily, but yeah, maybe, you know.
So tell us about those wacky womas you got there you're working with.
Oh, that's something else. I don't know what to think of that project yet. It's cool, but I don't know. You know, you ever hear of Woma? The Woma makes what do they call it? The pearl. It dies every time or something. You ever hear that?
Yeah, it's fatal. Yeah.
Right. I've bred 3 clutches of wacky Woma to wacky Woma and not hit one pearl, and not one animal died. Which makes me start scratching my head now, going, is it a Woma? Now I'm back to the drawing board trying to go, what's going on here? And I also hatched out a snake out of that clutch, which was lime green when it came out and orange. Really creepy animal. And I put it to the side, and I called Brad Bow up. I said, Brad, I hatched out this snake. pretty creepy looking animal. And he goes, oh, I've made those before too. So I was like, oh, cool. So I put that thing back, and I'm gonna shelf it and raise it up. I'm thinking that the wacky Woma itself is just a Woma with this other gene. I think I finally isolated it, figured out what's going on.
A hidden gene wacky Woma.
Hidden gene wacky, everything's hidden, right? No, but it's a pretty squirrely animal. I took it to the show and showed a few of my friends it, and they're like, yeah, that thing's whacked out. The belly's crazy. It's all orange. There's so many different things. Flames come up the side where it's really creepy looking. So I'm just gonna shelf it. It's gonna take a couple years to female to play with. This is gonna be a tinker project now,
Oh man, I'd like to see that.
Yeah, it's an interesting animal for sure.
But I gotta tell you, man, that cinnamosa is an amazing animal also. That goes cinnamon champagne. That definitely looks like it's the route to go is with a darker gene with the champagne.
I love that animal. I love it, man. I hate it. That snake has tortured me. I probably made 6 clutches so far. I can't hit another one. It's like the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. I can't catch another one. I keep making cinnamon ghosts or champagne this. I can't hit it again. It's like a curse or something. I don't know. It's
well,
pretty
maybe
funny.
This year.
Maybe this year. And here's the funny part about that whole story. Will Slough originally sold me a cinnamon pet ghost, and he says, well, I can't prove it, blah, 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 but I think it's a ghost. So at the time, they were going for $4,000 a piece, and he goes, I'll give it to you for $400. We were friends for a long time. He goes, I can't prove it's a ghost. Just have it. Then I had this cinnamosa that was $12,000 at the time, which is sad how fast all the prices dropped, but that's a different story. But anyways, everybody thought I was crazy because I took a het ghost, cinnamon het ghost, to this mimosa that cost all this money. She got egg bound. I pulled the eggs out after like 7 days. I palpated them out, and I got 2 of them to hatch, and I got a mimosa and a cinnamosa. It was like the luckiest ever on the planet. Like it shouldn't even live. I got so lucky.
Man, that's a good thing you got those eggs out of there, man.
I just palpated them out. I didn't cut them. I just pushed them out. She laid the next year too. I actually used her to make that fire champagne ghost next year, and she laid perfectly with no problems at all. Gave me good eggs, everything.
Well, that fire honeybee, man.
You've been doing your homework, man. I'm going to give you some credit. You're naming off all these snakes.
Oh,
That's
thanks,
awesome.
man. You put it out there for us to look at, so that's what I'm going to do. Try to do my research before I get a guest on here.
You're pretty good. I'm going to give you some credit. You keep pulling out things like, what the heck? I didn't think anybody pays attention. I'm, impressed.
Nah, man.
That's awesome.
When you're making stuff like that, people are looking and watching, believe me.
Oh, wow. Yeah, sometimes you don't think that, you know what I mean? And you're, spitting them out like crazy. That's awesome. So, anyways, yeah, that's a pretty cool animal. I just hatched out another one of them this week. I just really like them. Brad, we split the clutch. Me and Brad Boa did that project together. We do a lot of things together, and he got one, I got one. He was pounding the food to it. He sent me a picture the other day, and I was floored. The thing got twice as bright as since it was a baby. That thing is glowing now. And I was like, wow. I couldn't believe it, how much better that thing became as it got bigger, which most snakes get a little uglier as they get older. Some of them do,
Yeah, when you had that side-by-side picture with a regular honeybee, it was like, yeah, night and day, just total contrast going on.
You guys see it now. It makes it look ugly. Yeah, it changed a lot. I couldn't believe it. So that's kind of exciting,
Hell yeah. So that Super Dragonfly is pretty awesome. What was the pairing on that? Any extreme gene going on in there?
No, I didn't do extreme stuff, but I did, what the hell did I bring this? Super Pastel Fire, I think, to a Lemon Blast or something. I can't remember, but I think so. Yeah, something like that. Hit all that stuff. But it's a pretty cool animal, too. It came out and I was confused as heck what it was, But
there's no pattern, basically.
Yeah, but now that it's getting some meals in it, it's starting to have a pattern seep through, but it's very, very faint and random and speckly. It's actually looking cooler, too. I think I get another couple 100 grams on it. I'm going to really think it's nuts,
Is that a male or female?
It's a male.
Nice.
It's cool. I have too many males. I need more females. I got so many males this year. It seems like my incubator just wanted to make males, which I know it's not possible in snakes to do that, but I think mine's got a curse for males this year. It's crazy. I think I produced like 50 pastels, and every one of them were males. I was like, really? The hardest thing to sell on the planet. Whether it had been normals, it had been easier to sell. It was crazy.
I guess I did all right with my, 4 pastel girls then. And
you did well.
Pastel males.
Yeah. I started making a joke out of it with my kids. They're always down there working with me. I'm like, I don't even have to pop it. It's a male, right? And they're like, come on, Dad. Yeah, right. I'm like, bink, see? Everybody would grab, bink, bink. It was like a sick joke or something. I don't know. It was nuts. But, yeah, I made a lot of males this year, everything,
What temperature you incubate at?
I do it at 88. But they say that there's no correlation with temperatures on the snakes, like turtles and different things like that. But the snakes say it's no different. But I usually do it at 88. I don't like doing 89 because it gives the eggs a little more time to go, to hatch out and absorb more egg yolk and be healthier, babies, you know what I mean, to start off with, They usually feed better, too, right out of the egg than when I used to do them at 89, it seems like for me.
What do they go, about 60 days then at 88?
Yeah, I go 60. I've had friends hatch out at 45 days.
What are they baking them at, 95?
I know. They're like, no, we're incubating them at 89. I'm like, yeah, right. You better stick your incubator.
What kind of substrate they using?
Yeah, right? Lava rocks.
So what do you use, actually?
I use the old school stuff because, like I said, I've been doing it 25 years. Not ball pythons, I wish, because I'd be a lot further along. But 25 years I've been doing snakes, and I've always used the thick grade, really big chip for microlite,
Mm-hmm.
And I have to go to a nursery that's like 2 hours away from here to find it. It's this big grade stuff that I really like. I've been using for the whole 25 years. I'm just really picky with it. It's always worked for me, so I stick with it,
Stick with what works, right?
Yeah, I'm not messing around. Everybody's like, try this pearl. I'm like, heck no. I know it works for you guys, but I'm just going to stick to this,
So what's with that shrapnel gene? I haven't never heard of that. You got the Super Cine Lemon Blast shrapnel.
Yeah,
and
I really like that.
Super Pastel Lesser shrapnel.
Yeah, I'm really digging that stuff. Chad Hawker's got it. A guy named Bob Pitt and Gerard. I can't remember his full name. Gerard, I think, started with it, and Bob Pitt got it, and then Chad Hawker and me. I think there's 5 of us out there with this gene now. And it basically, from what I'm understanding, takes a pattern that's a darker snake or whatever. It works really well with it. It will take the pattern and stretch it out and pixelate it to little dots or something like that, and put out some fade marks and really change the animal. Pretty cool. I'm really excited about working with that gene, helping the food do it because I want to get at it, Sorry, that's my crazy phone. That's Turtle Man. That's the Turtle Man right there. Turtle Man. So, yeah, I got that project. I'm doing my slash gene thing. I called it slash gene. I might change the name later. I don't know, but I just named it that at first. And I don't know if you've seen any of that stuff, but that's really, really cool stuff. It's the baby came out with all these white marks, looked like slash marks all over its neck. It was this white pattern. It was this crazy animal. And I'm making some more stuff. I haven't hit the white stuff again, but what it seems to be doing to the other snakes I've been hitting, really stretching the pattern out and then taking away alien heads and spacing them out where we might miss 2 or 3 of them. So it's just taking a lot of the pattern off and fading it like wild, and it's intensifying the colors 10 times brighter. They're amazing looking. And that's some other gene that I'm really excited about working with that I discovered. I picked up this animal at Sewerfest, and it looked weird, and put it to 2 normals just for the heck of it, and it came out with these wild stuff. So I'm pretty pumped about that. And I also have the volcano project, the volcano yellow belly. You ever hear the lava volcanoes?
Yeah, I saw the volcano yellow belly. I was going to ask you about that.
Oh, I'm doing all your stuff here. I'm sorry. I'm just going.
Oh, no, man, just go ahead. It's fine.
I like it better when you mention it because it makes you go, what the heck? How are you finding all this stuff out? So anyways, I got to shut up for a minute. It's fun. Yeah, that's a cool project, too. I'm really intrigued by seeing what happens with that, too. It seems like people are sparking interest in it, you know?
Yeah, but back to that slasher gene, that is definitely got some cool effects on it. Was that a Mojave that you put that to?
It was a Pastel Mojave originally when I got it, and it had white, like powdery-looking scales shooting up the body. It would look like, I don't know, like somebody powdered it with white stuff. It fades all over the thing, and I was like, what the heck is this thing? It seems whacked. And the guy wanted to trade me this animal for a whole bunch of harmful albino stuff, and I didn't even want this stuff. And I'm like, heck yeah, I'll trade you. And then, you know, I didn't even go up to him. It was funny. My daughter was at the show and begged this guy for a bearded dragon. And she goes, can I have this bearded dragon, Dave? This guy wants to trade you for some stuff. And I'm like, I don't really trade with people because I don't like taking any animals in my house. You know, I'm really particular who I get my stuff from so I don't get any problems, you know, my collection, you know. And the guy came over with this animal. And I'm like, what the heck? So I have to think every time when I hatch out a baby that's black looking, I go, okay, I'm not mad at you. It's pretty funny. She throws it in my face a lot.
Yeah, it's going to be a cool gene for sure. It looks like it'll do some pretty neat stuff to the animals.
Yeah, I want to throw that into the extreme stuff eventually and do some whacked out stuff. I made some clown stuff with the extreme stuff this year, which I'm super pumped about because I love clowns. Like, it's probably my favorite morph, you know? I just love clown stuff. Yeah, and clowns are one of my favorite things on the planet, and so I want to make a lot of extreme stuff with clowns. I think Brian Potter this year bought a pair of just baseline extreme head clowns from my friend Lou that he made, and I'm hoarding all my stuff to myself, you know. So I made a super pastel butter extreme head clown, like I was telling you, and Lemon Blast. I got pastel butter extreme head clowns, and I got some of those for sale right now, but I'm going to keep the big ones, you know.
Yeah, I saw in there you had we'll trade for female clown. Female clown
morphs. Yeah, I got a fetish with the damn. I got a fascination with those clowns. I don't know. I can't get enough of the things. I don't know. I don't know what my problem is. I can't stop collecting clowns. You know?
Man, we have one female that we got a couple years ago, and man, she is awesome looking, reduced. Oh, love her to death.
You know what I'm saying, right? Like, if you love clowns, like, you're hooked. You just hooked. You're done. You want more, you know?
I mean, when you see the spider clown and the Bumble Bee clown, and I want to see the killer clown, so, I mean, it's just a no-brainer.
Yeah, the killer is very reduced. I mean, it's cool, but I don't know if I like the Bumble Bee more because it's got a little more pattern to it. But the killer's cool because it's a killer. You know what I mean? But I like the pattern of the clown, period, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, genetics-wise, you know, it's beneficial to have more.
It reminds you of the flatline, kind of. You know what I mean? And everybody liked that flatline, the Bumblebee, you know?
Exactly. So, like, you're 2/3 of the way or 3/4 of the way there. I mean, one more gene.
Yes.
Then you have the key
that's
ingredient.
What I think it too. I think it's Enchi, to tell you the truth. I think that's the missing gene.
Either Enchi or his
or green type
or whatever.
Stuff. Yeah, the tangerine.
Mm-hmm.
I 100% agree with you. It's either tangerine or orange dream. What was I saying?
Enchi.
Enchi, yep. There's so many damn morphs in my head all the time going around. I don't know.
Tell me, man. I sit here and we're rattling off morphs, and I'll be rattling off ones we already talked about. It's just like mind-numbing, really.
Yeah, there's so much stuff out there now. I'm just hoping we could all slow down a little bit. Everybody seems like there's such a rush that everything's flying in so fast, you know, where prices are dropping too quick because too many people are getting in a panic to sell, and it's just killing things pretty badly. So I'm hoping that in the market, everybody slows down a little bit, be more patient selling things, and keep it going longer. You know what I mean?
What do you think's behind that movement?
Just, you know, there's people that are hobbyists, there's people that are just in it for the money, and there's people that are hobbyists that love it and in for the money. I mean, because if you work really hard, you're going to want money. I mean, it's common sense. You know, everybody likes money. But some people get too greedy and don't really care about and have a love for this, the hobby, and don't really care if it goes down in tubes. They just want their money, and that's what's killing us. We got those people are the ones that are just killing the market. You know, the people that still love it and want to preserve it, hold the prices up a little better, you know. The people that just don't care and want the money are just slamming things out there cheap, and it's you know, it's making things rough for the people that care, you know, they want to keep the prices up, you know.
Well, man, I know you're not letting this one go. The Paradox Bumble Bee Fire. That thing is a whole back for show. Am I right?
Hey, how the hell do you know what that snake? I don't show nobody that snake. Oh my God, you're a spy. Yeah, that thing's cool.
I'm in your closet.
like, dude, you come to my crib or something?
I'm right behind you.
I know, you are slick, dude. Yeah, that thing's pretty cool, dude. How do you know what that was? Was that Facebook or something?
Yeah, because it's funny because I got rid of my Facebook, and I told the wife, I was like, yo, add Ken Masick so I could keep his stuff, because I couldn't really look at your Facebook page unless I was friends. She's like, already friends. I was like, cool. She's like, he's a tattoo artist. I was like, word. So I was like, because I saw your video.
Where do you tattoo artist?
It's called Renaissance Studios in Endicott, New York. How about yourself?
Oh, cool. You're up in New York.
How about yourself? Where are you working out of?
I had a tattoo shop for 17 years in Batavia, and now I just do private appointments, and I pretty much do full-time snakes only now.
Nice.
I took a little break of 25 years, but I still do like 2 or 3 pieces a week. I used to do like 30 a week, but now I'm down to like 2 or 3, and pretty much focus all my attention into reptiles now, having a little more fun with that. And then the tattooing I'm not so burnt out on now because I'm just doing it here and there, so it's kind of nice. You know, I'm actually think my artwork is increasingly getting better because I have more passion and hunger to do it when I do it now, because I'm not just slamming out 30 pieces a day. I actually look forward to doing it now. Then you know what I'm talking about.
So do you have a home studio?
Yeah, I got a home studio right now, and I got other studios I can go to work if I like. If I just want to set up appointments in different areas, I got artists that let me in the shop whenever I want to work. You know.
That's nice, man. That's when you know you've made it, is when you can set up a home studio. That's basically you start in the home, you go to the shop, and then you can make it back to the house, man. That's when you know you made it.
It's a lot easier, you know. It's just I'm being around my kids every day, 7 days a week now, and we work on the snakes all together. We go home, do the homework, and then we go downstairs and we work till we go sleep. And probably put 6 hours a day in the basement, keep everything top notch clean, and the kids know how to ultrasound and know everything about the morphs and combos. They're pretty good kids, though. Pretty good. They're pretty into it, you know.
Little sponges, man. I got a 2-year-old that's as soon as I hit the door, man, I hit the house, and she wants to see the snakes. It's pretty amazing.
That's awesome. That's real cool. That's real cool.
So,
wait till you start getting into the breeding stuff. That's awesome, you know.
Yeah, my oldest, you know, she can point out a few morphs, but she's got a lot of stuff going on. She's a busy girl, but she knows a few of them, and she knows which ones are hers and stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, I like kids getting into it. I mean, the other day I drove 60 miles to bring a normal ball python to a lady. I held it for a month for her for $20 just to surprise her kids for Christmas, and I thought that was cool, you know, just to get another kid into it, you know. He was like 6, 7 years old.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, my son's also,
yeah.
He's got a couple of his own snakes that he picks out. So I let the kids pick the holdbacks out. Like, which holdback do you want? This is yours.
You got to stop figuring at 500 snakes. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's real cool.
So what?
I was on. Go ahead.
Nah, man, go ahead, man.
I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore, dude. That's awesome. Oh boy, we're jumping around from tattoos to snakes. I'm bouncing around with you. But
that's good, man.
What other sneaky things do you know about me? Come on.
That was basically it, man. I mean, you stole me like 3 from me, so you did good, you know. So I was just going to ask you. I was just going to ask, you know, what kind of do you vend any expos?
Yeah, I always do all the Tinleys. I'm going to do the one in March, and I always do the shows. It's usually me, Brad Bowen, and Brock Wagner. We always share like a end cap, you know. We all just have a good time hanging out because we always talk all the time. So it's a way for us to get together and just hang out for the weekend, you know.
Man, I really, really, really need to make it out there. I keep saying it. I think I say it every show, actually. Like, yeah, I'm going to go out there, but that's definitely one of my goals. So hopefully this spring.
Oh, you've never made it to the Tinley show yet?
No, I haven't, man. I've only been to a couple local shows around here. That's the consensus across the board is Tinley's the best.
It's a pretty, I'm not going to lie to you, I'm glad it's in my backyard, you know. It's a great show. I would have to travel to that show if I didn't live here, you know, which is nice. I'm 45 minutes away from there. But otherwise, I mean, I travel that show because it's actually a pretty hopping, a lot of bigger breeders, a lot of cool morphs. It's a big place, you know. It's a big setup. It's real nice.
Yeah, it's like a 9-hour drive, but I mean, I still think it'd be worth it just to go out there and experience it.
Yeah, it's a pretty good time. I think Tinley's are always pretty laid back. The people and the shows, it's a good show. It's actually one of my favorite shows to go to, for sure.
Yeah, that was my next question. So what is your favorite one to attend? So it's probably going to be Tinley again?
It's all for sure. That's where I make the most money and get to see all the bigger breeders I talk to all year long on the phone every other day. And you know, when we get there, I can hang out with them, you know. So it's definitely the funner show than the local shows. So the local ones are all right. You know, it's a basic local show, and you see some people you're friends with, too. It's cool there, too. But the big show, that's where it's a lot more fun for me, you know.
Yeah, man, I'm going to have to do it, man. Suck it up and make that drive.
I know. Well, the local shows, I bring my lower-end animals because that's all that will sell. And then when I go to Tinley, I get to go, bam, and throw out my coolest stuff, you know. And it's more fun because you get to show off a little, you know.
Yeah, it's definitely cool, man. I want to check it out for sure.
Yeah, if you ever get out there, you got to say hi and stuff out, you know.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, I will definitely do that. You and Brad Boy and Brock. Brock's next weekend on the show, too. So it's
Oh, that's cool.
So what's your take on the war on pet owners, man? I'm pretty sure you're aware of what's going on out there against us.
Well, fill me in. What's the basic bottom line? What are they trying to do?
They're trying to take our rights.
Is that the 511 thing or whatever it's called?
Oh, man, it's just so many of them. I can't even keep up with them all the time. You know, it's like
that's what happened to me. I want to be honest
HR this, HR that, and
yeah, I was actively involved in every one of those things, you know, for like 100 years, and fighting it and stuff. And lately, I've been so buried in work and with the snakes and everything, and just trying to market and take pictures and clean and trying to get things breeding that I've been out of the loop on that. No one's really been talking about it to me. That's probably dangerous, you know. You got to pay attention to that stuff. But so they're trying to, was a nationwide thing again, or is it a different one state?
Well, no, they banned like the crossing state borders with certain species, and it just seems that you know they're not going to stop there. You know, they already got 9 more lined up, and then you know they got another one on the back burner. They're going to ban. You know, it's just ridiculous that you know we live in a free society and they're all in our business trying to you know tell us what to do. Basically,
it's free. It's not that free, but yeah, I'm gonna look into it now that you made me more aware of it. I just been out of the loop because I've been like super focusing in the dungeon. I call it the snake room, and just been trying to get my stuff ready for the season, and just you know putting everything in a row. You know, trying to plan everything out and trying to get young males to breed. It's been frustrating, and so I've been kind of out of the loop, and I've had time just to sit around and really like look into stuff. You know what I mean? It's been working.
To be honest, I'm in the same boat. You know. Honestly, but you know, I really like to get other breeders and people's takes on you know what our current climate is.
Well, it's not cool. I mean, because here's what scares me about those laws, all of them. I'm not even talking about this one, but just the ones I've experienced in the past, and I've paid money into everything, you know, and try to help support it and everything. I've been behind almost all of them, but now I've been a little burnt out because there's so many of them. But I'm not trying to be a cop out, but man, I fought a lot of them, and it's just you get tired after a while of this stuff. The government never stops, you know. It's like just they're like attack dogs. After a while, you're like, Jesus, right? But the bottom line is, they're like kids. You give them a little bit of freedom, they're gonna take it all. You know what I mean? They're gonna take advantage of it. They're gonna keep going and going and going and try to take it all. You know, you give them a little, they're gonna take it all. And that's what scares me about any of these laws, you know.
Yeah, because they won't stop.
No, they won't stop. Like I said, they're like kids. They'll have a little bit, take it all. So it's scary,
Yeah, you got kids, I got kids, so we could both see what's going on, and, it is kind of frightening.
Yeah, just everything as a whole, the whole world with shootings in schools, everything's just getting a little whacked out this year. It seems like things are getting nuttier, but that's why I just bury myself in a dungeon and try to just focus on my stakes and tattoos and kind of like get myself out of the elements of craziness,
Right on.
Zone out. But I'm gonna look into it though, because if they need me again with petitions and stuff, I'll get involved again. I just like I said, I was just out of the loop a little.
Yeah, I need to too. I haven't sent any petitions or made calls.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look.
I don't know. It feels like a year ago, but yeah, we need to be more active, I guess, both of us.
The one thing I wanted to bring up, I'm going to jump the subject again, is with the Extreme gene, we have the price pretty affordable now. And the reason I did that was to get more people active in it. Because, like it's hard times right now with the recession and people love like really cool looking snakes, usually can't afford something newer or cooler. So until it becomes like so late in the project that, you know what I mean, it's been around for 100 years. So what I wanted to do was lower it a little bit so some middle range people that, don't have a lot of money can actually enjoy something newer and make stuff that no one's ever seen. So that's where I brought it down to like $25 for a base gene and $3,000 for the male. So the female would be $25 and then $500 per gene later, which I thought was really cheap and reasonable for people to get into a new project,
Yeah, man, definitely. That's not a bad price at all for a new gene.
No, some people would come out with $10,000 right away, and then work the way down. But I want to go to a Tinley show and see 5 tables full of combos I've never made yet and be able to enjoy looking at them. So it's kind of one of those things where I'm not going to try to be greedy and selfish and blah, blah, blah. I want to have fun with this project more than, try to kill myself on it and try to beat everybody up for the money, Just I want to, like I said, I just want to go to the show and see a whole bunch of my stuff around,
Yeah, it's got to be, fulfilling.
Yeah, it'd be fun, Just be able to see something somebody makes that I didn't make, and I go, oh, yeah, that's cool. Okay, I can do that now.
That's awesome, man. So what is the best way for people to get a hold of you?
Most people email me at Big Papa Macek, so it's BIGPAPAMACEK at yahoo.com. And then some ads, I just leave my number and stuff like that, too. So it's pretty easy to find me, though, and how to get a hold of me, because I'm posting up constantly something.
Yeah, it's good that you post pictures with your number. That's a pretty good idea, man. I need to start doing that.
Yeah, I wasn't doing it at first. I just didn't want 5,000 people calling me, like, weird stuff going on. But it's actually been pretty good. No one's really been doing that. I think the industry has matured a little bit more as far as that goes. But back in the day, if you left your number, you had 50 people call you up and say, hey, I'll trade you a George Foreman grill and a slipper for your Mojave. And you're just like, really, dude? You know what I mean? You're like, wow.
Oh man, I could definitely see that going down.
I got a good one last week. Somebody emailed me saying they'll give me some Florida pine snakes for an expensive snake that I had, and I was like, "Is this a joke? Really?" Like, it wasn't a joke. They wanted to trade me some Florida pines or something. I don't know. But anyways, it was pretty funny, I guess, at the end. But yeah, you get that stuff sometimes too, but it used to be a lot worse back in the day. And that's why I never give out my number. Now I just give it out,
Yeah, they're probably playing with you on that one, on some pine snakes. Unless it was some rare morph that hasn't been out there, I guess.
Well, I found out it was a little kid, and I felt bad. Because I wrote, are you kidding me? And they wrote back, no, I just really want that snake. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. It was like a 10-year-old or something. And I was like, oh, Jesus. But
have your kids
for the most
handle that?
Oh, yeah, you know what I'm talking about, though. It happens.
So, is there anything else you'd like to add before we end this transmission?
Yeah, I built a video game for the Play Store on smartphones, iPhones, and Androids, and all that. And it's called IR8 Primates. Irate Primates. Please check it out. It's a fun game. It's good for kids. We got approved by Apple from 4 years old and up. So it's not bad for kids. It's a fun game. It's kind of like a lot cooler than Angry Birds, but a game kind of based like that. And I put some snakes in the second scene. There's some green tree pythons in the trees, so I think all the snake people will like it.
So what
give it a try.
Do that?
Some guys came in to my tattoo shop when I was tattooing, and they wanted to build a video game. And they said they went to 12 different artists and tried to have them draw what they wanted in their head. And I says, like this, I drew like a fast sketch in 10 seconds. They're like, oh, my God. So they hired me on, and they were just going to pay me to draw for them. And then they realized that I was such an asset with like the ideas and the themes and everything that they gave me a percentage of the company, and then I drew the whole game out for them.
Wow, man. That's
so it's
cool.
pretty cool. Yes. Yep.
I've been kicking around the idea of making an app. That's awesome you did that.
It's really complicated, dude. It's a lot of work and years. I mean, it takes a long time, dude.
Did you say 2 years?
2 years, dude. I mean, it's so much involved that I had no clue what goes in the game. But billions and billions of codes and it's wild, dude. Things don't work. You gotta go back and fix them, write new codes. I mean, it's crazy, dude. Seriously, it like opened up my eyes to like, wow, I can't believe people build such complex games. And in fact, our game is one of the most. It's a weird game because you can play, and during the daytime it is daytime in the background, and then at nighttime it turns into nighttime in the background. So it goes with the time of the day. Our game, you can be playing it in the middle of the day, and it goes to nighttime when it gets dark out. So it's kind of cool because it goes with the theme of the day, you know?
Awesome, man. Well, I'm going to definitely check out Irate Primates. Check it out for the kids. They're the ones that get to play with the devices. I don't get to play with them, so I'm sure they'll love it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's real fun, man. Let me know, and then make sure that you write a review because that's the most important thing that helps me out is reviews.
For sure. We'll hook it up, brother.
All right, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, it was pretty cool talking to you, and the station's pretty cool, and I'd like to definitely hear what you got, what you're making. You didn't even tell us that.
Oh, man, it's basic, man. I'm only like 4 years in, and small-time kind of operation going over here, I'd say. Our holdbacks this year was a lithium female, which she's a hottie.
That's cool.
She's staying
cool.
here. We've made our first Bumble Bee, so the female, she's staying. And had a pairing that was a firefly to a bumblebee, and I'm hoping it's a killer bee fire, but it's I guess that's a hard one to tell. You got to let it grow some and see what happens. And I mean, it's super clean. Oh, it's probably like 200 grams. Little guy still.
Yeah,
he took forever to take the food, but this weekend took a frozen thaw rat pup right off the tongue. I was like, ooh, yeah, all right. So he's gonna be getting that more.
Do you feed most of your stuff frozen?
That's just a supplement. You know, if I have snakes that will eat frozen thaw, I'll feed them that because my rat production, for some reason, I suck at it, man. In the beginning, I had an overflow of them, but now I just can't produce enough of them. So I'm doing something wrong. I switched up the feed to Harlan, so hopefully that'll help out. Maybe get some new stock in here or something, but yeah,
well,
definitely not producing enough.
It's hard though, man. When they go, they go, and when they don't, they don't,
Yeah,
it's miserable because then you got to clean them, smell all that stuff, and if they're not breeding for you, it's like, really? It's like, why am I doing this?
That's where I'm at. I'm like, why am I doing this?
Yeah, it's miserable. I had to do it this year because there was a rat shortage in Chicago. I mean, a horrible rat shortage where every week I had to hustle and make 5,000 phone calls. I've had to drive out of state and pick up 900 rats in my Tahoe, driving 6 hours, smelling that. I mean, I went through a lot of garbage this year, just trying to get rodents every week, and it's been a pretty long year of struggling with that. But I got all my females up to size. I did what I had to do, but the rat shortage was brutal. It was so brutal that I ended up making a small rat facility for myself, and it's starting to kick off, and which is cool because with my bananas and GHIs and all that other stuff that I made, I was able to feed them every 2 days rat pups and get them big, So I'm glad, kind of in a way, there was the rat shortage because it forced me to breed rats now. which not the happiest about, but it really worked well with my bananas. And like I said, the most expensive snakes, I was able to feed every couple different days, the perfect size I needed. So kind of forced me into it, but there were some benefits to it too. But man, I hate that smell.
Yeah, have you tried pine pellets?
Yeah, it didn't work so good for me. It works good with the mice, but not with the rats. They just smashed it up to powder. It just didn't work as well for me with the rats, but for the mice, it's great.
So do you feed a rat feed?
Yeah, like Missouri type stuff. In fact, like I'm starting to use a little bit of Missouri. I'm doing like a tester right now. My friend went to a place that manufactures food for animals, and he gave him a recipe for what he wanted to. He's been breeding rats for 25 years and told him what he wanted, and he made his own lab block. That was amazing. Really, really good stuff, and now it's starting to powder up, and it's not sticking together as good, so there's a lot of waste. So I'm switching to Missouri now for a little while to do a test to see if they start breeding better on it. So I'm in between two foods right now,
Awesome. All right, Ken, again, thank you for coming on Her Per Parade, man. We appreciate you taking time out and doing the show, man. Appreciate it.
Oh, it was nice talking to you guys. Yeah, hit me up anytime, man.
Awesome. All right, that's going to do it for this week's episode of Her Per Parade. Don't forget to subscribe and comment on iTunes. And as always, we're streaming live on RustyReptiles.com. Her Per Parade, out.
This is Ben Rennick from Rennick Reptiles, and you're listening to Her Per Parade.